What's going on, guys? Pardon the mess, but I wanted to respond to a comment that was made on an older video of mine where I had a tool recommendation for these Absolute Origin iGaging 6-inch calipers. And I do still very highly recommend these. I think they're a tremendous value for the money. They're something I use quite constantly in the shop, and they still work as well as the day that I bought them. So there was a comment recently left. They were asking what the current, both in the on and off positions were, the current draw on this tool. And I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm not sure if it's even available information anywhere. So I figured we'd go ahead and try to get set up and see if we could read that ourselves. So I've got a relatively cheap multimeter, but hopefully it'll be relatively accurate. And we'll see what we can determine here. But these are still highly recommended. I'd really like to even see them maybe in a side-by-side to a Mitutoyo or a Starrett or some higher quality, quote-unquote calipers, because I really don't think you can get much better than these. They seem quite accurate. Again, the Absolute Origin still works flawlessly. No matter what I do, they always go back to zero. And they seem actually very well made, especially for $35, $40. You can see we got a little bit of a gasket here. These are IP54 rated. So, they should hold up theoretically as good as any other set of calipers, I suppose. But, for most guys, especially home shop guys like myself, I don't think you really need much more than this. Again, for the price, even if these failed on me or got broken, it wouldn't be that big of a deal versus, losing $100, $200 pair of calipers from a much higher priced brand. So, something to keep in mind. But at any rate, let's get to the current reading. Kind of reading on these button cells is a little bit of a trick here, so I'm going to see if we can maybe rig something up. I got an aluminum plate here that'll simulate the negative spring terminal. Go ahead and establish continuity there, and then this will go on the positive side and bridge over to the positive terminal. And this is in the on position. We're reading microamps. Looks like we're drawing about 21.2, 21.3 microamps. Now, I'm going to shut it off. And that dropped to only 1.3 microamps. Switch to milliamps. Yeah, it won't even register. So there you go, 1.3 microamps. What was that, 20.2, 20.3 while on. So very minimal current draw versus, well, let's see what something like this actually reads. This is an SPI 12-inch caliper, quite a bit more expensive. Instead of a 2032 cell, it uses an L1154F, like a watch battery. Let's see. It's much smaller, but I think I can still get my clip where I need it. So still on microamps. Go to the positive terminal here. This is on. Okay, this one draws only 14 microamps. And then off, 12.3 microamps. On, And now we're at 13.8. Off 12.3, 12.4. And I have had to change this battery quite a number of times on these. This is actually still the original battery since I bought the iGaging calipers. And this I actually leave on all the time accidentally. Again, it lasts quite a long time. I've yet to change it. I think I remember reading that these batteries are supposed to last up to a year or two. And I think what they mean there is actually in the on position. It'll probably last much longer, or whatever the shelf life is, just in an off position. But you could see, although this draws less current, you know, on the SPI while on, it's quite a bit more in the off position, and that has shown itself to be the case based on the number of times I've had to change batteries on this, whether I leave it on or off. So something to keep in mind. Again, this is probably less than half the price of what these cost, although they are 12-inch calipers. I think you can probably get these in 12 as well. But I'd take one of these over, you know, 2 or 3 of these any day. Price considered. They seem to be as accurate, as easy to use, and easily as well made. So definitely a high recommendation for these still, even after using them for this long. They're a very nice tool to have. So unfortunately I don't remember who made the comment, what their username was, but hopefully that answers your question adequately. If you have any more, by all means leave them below, and I'll see what I can do. So thanks for watching, guys.